Hi, welcome to Vegan Fresh. I'm your host Jaya, and I'm going to teach you a simple chocolate recipe. Chocolate Bliss macaroons that rock. They rock because, well, first of all, they only require 4 essential ingredients. The rest are optional. All the ingredients are organic. They're from sustainable farms, and they can be bought at your local natural food store or online. The only equipment you really need is a bowl and a wooden paddle spoon. If you have a form for making like a chocolate mold out of silicone, that's wonderful, but not necessary. So let's get started. We're going to start with 2 cups of unsweetened dried coconut. Next, we have 3/4 of a cup cacao. Cacao is the name the ancient Aztecs used for what they called the food of the gods. Today, we call it chocolate. And thanks to David Wolfe, we now have raw chocolate with all of its phytonutrients and more densely nutritious food. Now, the only thing is, if you think that you're going to get your magnesium from raw chocolate, think again. As many people are talking about the magnesium level in chocolate, but it's bound up by oxalic acid and will not assimilate in your body. So don't depend on it for the magnesium. And we're going to put that in. And if you prefer, you can use carob. I personally love carob. It's not a chocolate substitute, but it stands on its own. It's high in calcium and has its own nutritional profile. The next ingredient is coconut palm sugar. I love coconut palm sugar. I love the smell, the taste, the texture, the color. And maybe most of all, I love that it's the nectar of the palm tree. The nectar of the flower from the palm tree. So this is a 1/2 cup, and we're going to put that in. Next, we're going to go to the optional ingredients. The first one is cinnamon. I love cinnamon. It's a warm, pungent spice. It's been used as a medicine and as food in many cultures. And 1/2 teaspoon a day will help control the sugar levels in your blood sugar levels, and help to naturally produce insulin. And it's also a slight stimulant to the brain, which is a good thing. This is 2 teaspoons. It is optional. Whoops. But I like it. And I try to put it into everything. It's great in savory dishes as well. As much as you can use it, because it's such a good medicine. We have optional things like cayenne. That was used by the Aztecs in their cacao drink. And then essential oils. I have blood orange and peppermint and rose absolute. If you're using peppermint, you might want to use 8 or 10 drops. That's pretty strong. But I like a lot of peppermint. I like that taste. But we're not going to use that flavor today. It's pretty overwhelming. So if you're going to use peppermint, that's probably the only flavor you'd want to use. We're going to use some of the blood orange. We'll put it in a little bit later when we put the liquid ingredients in. And then we can go over to some of the superfoods, the vitamin greens, or any kind of green powder can be added. You might want to add 1 or 2 tablespoons. Goji berries is another one you could add. You could grind them first or just add them as is. We're going to use orange. You would use the zest and not the juice. I just picked this morning off of our tree. And to get the zest from the orange, you want to use a small grater. If you have a box grater, or if you're in the market for a box grater, make sure it has that small grate on it as well. It makes it more fully functional. Then you don't have to have two unless you just want to. So anyhow, we're going to take this and we are going to grate the orange. And we just move it around. Real quick thing. And we want about maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons. There we go. And we'll just wipe it down. And we can add that, ooh, isn't that a beautiful color up against those flowers? And put it in. And the next thing we're going to use is fresh ginger. Now, ginger is so easy to peel. You just take the edge of a spoon and move down on it and the skin comes right off. But we're not even going to peel it. We're going to just scrub it with this brush. It's already been scrubbed. And then again, we're going to take our small grate and grate the ginger. And most of the peel is going to stay on this side of the grater, and what we're going to use is going to fall back here. So we're going to just grate a little bit. That's it. And fortunately, I've already grated some. It's right here. Now, you can either use the juice of the ginger or the whole ginger. If you're going to use the juice of the ginger, you would just put it in the palm of your hand and squeeze it into your mixture. And the reason why you would want to do that, it would give a more subtle, more subtle flavor. When you add the pulp and everything, you're going to get a much more ginger taste. I'm going to add the whole thing. You want about 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of the juice as well. That means you're going to have to grate a lot more to do the juice. But we're going to put about 2 tablespoons in there. And that's all we're going to use. Oh, a pinch of salt. I almost forgot. A pinch. You take your thumb, your index finger, and your middle finger, and you go in and you get a pinch. That is officially a pinch of salt. All right. Now we're going to take all these dry ingredients, and of course the ginger and the orange are a little bit wet, but we're going to just stir that in because this way it can really get integrated. Those two wet items can get integrated really well. And if there's any lumps in the cacao, they're going to come out right now. No problem. We're just going to stir it really, really good. There we go. And our next ingredient and last ingredient is coconut oil. Coconut oil is an amazing medicine. Dr. David Perlmutter, he's an expert on our brains, and he highly recommends it. It is so nourishing to our brain. It has medium-chain fatty acids in it, the lauric acid. It isn't found in very many places in plant life, but it is found in mother's milk, and it is found in coconut oil. It's what makes coconut oil antibacterial, antifungal, and easy to digest. Below 76 degrees, it will be white and solid. And above 76, it will be a clear liquid. So what you want is it to be still white, but very soft. There's 2 ways you can get the consistency correct on the coconut oil. One is to put it in a warm part of your home for 1 or 2 hours, or if it's summertime, it might naturally be at that state anyhow. And the other way is to put it into a bowl of warm water. And you want to watch that carefully. It should only take 5 or 10 minutes for it to become soft. This is a half a cup of coconut oil. See how spreadable and how easy it is to scoop? That is how you want your coconut oil. Here we go. I'm just going to take my little spatula and get it all out of there. There we go. A little bit more. And we got it. Now we're going to stir it. And this takes a little bit of time. You can also use your hands if you like to play with your food. And eventually it all gets integrated, but that's as simple as it is. Well, oops, this one we can do fast forward on this because I want to get it really good. This is a time when you can sing a song. Remember the love that you're putting into the food. Remember the people that you're going to be serving. Say a prayer, a blessing. And when it's all integrated, it'll look something like this.
Okay, come take a close up. Beautiful. Cool.
Well, there's two ways to make our chocolate. We can make it in a mold like this one. This is silicone. They're easy to punch out. And what we do is we just take a little bit of the batter and press it in there, right? Very easy to do. Then once it's filled, actually I like to use this paddle spoon. It really works good. You get it in there and push it in. Make sure, you know, there's no air spaces in there. It's pushed in really well. And then put it in the freezer for like 10-15 minutes, or the refrigerator for about a half an hour, and then push them out. It's really easy. The other way is I like to take a tablespoon, because I like exact measurements, or almost exact. I take something like that, and then I take it in my hands and I roll it and press it together. There we go. Oops. And we have our little macaroon. There it is. Dessert right there in my hand. Now that our chocolate bliss is made, we're going to make a beautiful presentation. These are flowers out of my garden. Roses are wonderful to use, but this is what I have now. These are calendula. They're a cold weather flower. It's still winter here, so I'm just going to scatter some of these on this white cake dish. White is nice to use for presentations because it shows the food up really nicely. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so, whoa, what happened to that one? I need one big chocolate heart. Okay, and then we can just set some of these others around here, like so. And before you know it, some balls. We'll put those in the center. More on the outside edge. Bring more love, joy, and gratitude into the making and preparing of your food. This is a moment to celebrate and to feel the joy of your creations you just made. And you know you're going to serve to the people that you love. So here we go. It's almost there, folks. Whoops, one more? Yeah, one more. Whoops, more flowers. Some yellow ones. And and maybe just a little bit of mint in the corners. There we go.
Here, I'll go with that.
Thank you for joining me at Vegan Fresh. Until next time, have a vegan fresh day.